Ta-da! In 8 years, your child will have over $1 million. O diba, sabi ko sa inyo, you can help them save over $1 million.
Are your kids saving money? Do you know where? In this video, my wife's gonna help you teach them grow their money up to $1 million.
I'm not a financial advisor. I'm a registered nurse with a passion for personal finance. Financial literacy didn't come that early for me, well, at least not at this level. Kung alam ko lang, alam ko ngayon, mas marami na sana akong naipon by now. That is why I would love to share my experiences and what I've learned to those who would care to listen. Even if I'm not a financial advisor, I know that just about every financial advisor will tell people to invest. And that is a great advice for adults to follow. But it's even a better advice for our kids. If they invest properly, they could save thousands and even millions of dollars towards their financial future. That is why we put our kids' savings into investment accounts and not in savings accounts. I know that usually when it comes to savings, we tell our kids to put their money in savings account. But what's the difference between a savings account and an investment account? A savings account is a interest-bearing deposit account in a bank or any financial institution. They usually carry a very modest interest rate. They're usually safe and reliable option where to park our cash for short-term needs. An investment account, on the other hand, allows you to buy and sell a variety of investments such as stocks, bonds, mutual funds, index funds, exchange-traded funds. An investment account is also known as a brokerage account because the buy and sell of investment happens at the website of an online brokerage company. Examples of brokerage companies are Vanguard, Charles Schwab, these are my two favorites, Fidelity, E-Trade, Ameritrade, among many others. In the Philippines, there's First Metro Securities, AB Capital, Call Financial, just to name a few. So let's compare interest rates between a savings account and an investment account. As of the time of this recording, the interest rates of savings account here in the States is between 0.4% to 0.6%. That's less than 1%. And these rates are already coming from the so-called high-yield savings account. On the other hand, the average stock market return for the last 100 years is about 10% per year. So let's compare. If your kids saved $1,500 a year in a savings account with an interest rate of 0.6%, their money will earn $9 a year. On the other hand, if they put their $1,500 savings in an investment account with an average rate of return of 10%, their money will potentially earn $150. It's a big difference, diba? But why did I say potentially? That is because the stock market, with its up and down, has its risk. As you know, investing has its risk because stock prices rise and fall. But we also know that when stock markets prices fall, they usually go up again. And it usually has an upward trajectory, meaning that when prices recover, they usually trend upwards. And since our kids are young, they have so much time to recover their losses because they have many years in front of them. But the trick is, they have to keep their money there for the long term. They shouldn't pull it out just because there is a drop in the stock market. They have to ride it out because it will recover.
Here's what I know about the American economy. It goes up and it goes down. But overall, investing into American businesses has made people wealthy. And so I invest in mutual funds with the mindset that I'm going to leave it there for a very long time, and no one gets hurt on a roller coaster except those that jump off in the middle of the ride.
So the trick is, let your money stay there, reinvest your interest or capital gains, and let the magic of compound interest do its work. So what is compound interest? A compound interest is the interest you earn on an interest. I'll give you an example. If you have $100 and you saved it at a rate of 5% a year, your $100 will be $105 at the end of the year. Now, on the second year, you will have $110.25 because apart from the $5 that you earned from your initial $100, your $5 interest earned 25 cents. While 25 cents may not sound so much at first, it really adds up. You know, if you don't contribute anything, any dime to that account anymore, in 10 years, that account will grow to $162. And thanks to the power of compound interest, in 25 years, it will go to about $340. That still doesn't sound a lot, right? Let me give you another example. Okay, let's use the compound interest calculator of investor.gov. Say we have a 13-year-old child who was gifted $500 by their grandparents. So we'll use the $500 as the initial investment. And then, monthly contribution that they can afford to give is, say, $60. Kasi yan ang monthly allowance nyo sa kanila. Or maybe they have a part-time job or a side hustle and they earn $60 a month. Okay? So that 13-year-old kid will get that monthly allowance of $60 for 9 years until he or she is 22 years old. So let's put that at 9. And then the estimated interest rate of 10. Remember, the average annual interest rate of stocks is 10% over the last 100 years. So let's use 10% here. And then we want it to compound annually. And we calculate. So the results are in 9 years, your child will have $10,956.20 cents. Okay, so now that your child is 22, let's use that almost $11,000 as the initial investment here to begin with. By this time, they must probably be working and can afford to save $500 a month. So we will put that as the monthly contribution. And then let's put here 20 years. They'll be saving $500 for 20 years, so from 22 until they're 42. Estimated interest rate of 10%, and then compounded annually. So after 20 years, when your child is 42, he or she will have about $417,300 plus. Okay, that's a lot of money already, right? Okay, so now your child is 42 years old, and then we'll use that over $400,000 as the initial investment. And then by 42, I'm sure they got promoted or executive na sila, or they probably have their own business. So we'll put $1,000 here as the monthly contribution. The length of time in years, let's put 8 years. Kasi they want to bag work at 50 and gusto na nila mag-retire at 50. So let's put 8 years. Now, estimated interest rate, again, is at 10%, compounding annually, and we calculate. Ta-da! In 8 years, your child will have over $1 million. O diba, sabi ko sa inyo, you can help them save over $1 million. And this is just a very conservative estimate because over the course of their lifetime, they could be making more than this. And remember, it's not how much we earn, but it's really how much we save. So now I hope you appreciate the power of compound interest. The great Albert Einstein once said, "Compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it, and he who doesn't pays it." And that is why I'm not a fan of putting our kids' money in a savings account in a bank. You know, we teach them how to invest early. That way, their money will grow exponentially.
Parents, grandparents, listen up. You can give all sorts of things to families that had just had babies. I want you to open up accounts for them, or at least give them some shares of stock so that from the earliest moment you can start the process of saving that you have to do.
Yes, investing can be tricky. It's not that simple. It can be very complicated. And I think it was designed to be complicated to create that need for financial advisors. But like anything else, anything can be learned. There are books, audiobooks, podcasts, videos, formal courses on investing, and all you need to have is a desire to learn it. Because you know what? If we don't teach our kids early on how to invest, they will be missing the very valuable asset they have, which is time. Warren Buffett, billionaire CEO of Berkshire Hathaway, says, "It's seriously never too early to learn." Sometimes parents wait until their kids are in their teens before they start talking about managing money, when they could be starting when kids are in preschool. So how do you teach financial literacy to a 3-year-old? Well, forget about the stock market. Let's start with the basic, that money doesn't grow on trees. So we have to teach young children that it's not as easy to be tapping that card everywhere you go. It takes hard work to earn money, so they shouldn't spend frivolously. Which means two things. One is that we have to be good role models. If our kids see us shopping for things that are unnecessary, we might be delivering mixed messages while we're teaching them how to save. For instance, while a bag is necessary, if they see us shopping for bags that are so expensive and signature bags, then that's really being a bad role model. And I am guilty as charged. Buti na lang hindi nagmana sa akin mga anak ko. Another example is buying coffee. You know, we go to Starbucks to buy coffee, and that $3 something a day times 5 times 4, that all adds up. When if you have a coffee maker at home, you can set the timer of that coffee maker so that you have coffee before you leave the house. Number 2, we have to self-learn investing. We can't rely on schools to provide our kids financial education.
I say this to parents with children of all ages. While I love the public school system, you simply cannot rely on the public schools, or even these ritzy private schools for that matter, to teach your kids about money. Okay, if you want your children to become fluent in the language of finance, you're going to have to do it yourself. I get the sense that personal finance is viewed as being too simple, too quotidian, so to speak, for most educators to even bother with. It's like beneath them. But nobody's going to explain why it's dangerous to maintain an outstanding balance in their future credit card bills. And believe me, you can't wait until after your kids go to college to teach them this stuff. Because at most institutions of higher education, students get bombarded with credit card offers. Throw in thousands of dollars of credit card debt on top of their student loans, and they could be in the hole for decades, which in many cases means you, the parents, will need to bail them out. We don't want that. Yet raising financially responsible children isn't just about being a good parent. It's about not getting hit up for cash every month, even when your kids are well into their 30s. That's why if you want your children to learn about money, and what parent doesn't want financially responsible children, then at this point, you need to do it yourself.
If you have other practical tips on how to make your kids' savings grow, I would love to learn from you. Please write them in the comment section below. And again, if you found value in this video, please hit the like button. Yun ho yung thumbs up button below this video. I realize that not all people know what a like button is, so yun ho yung thumbs up button. Huwag niyong kakalimutang i-press. And also press the word subscribe so that every week when I post a video, you'll get notification and mapapanood niyo po. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Peace!